Hey everybody, it's your man Type coming to you with another true spook story. Now before I begin, I would like to ask that you guys hit that like button. Go and subscribe to the channel and share me if you think it's not robbery. Well, this story is going to take place in the Orlando, Florida area, right off John Young, across the street from 33rd Correctional County Jail. And if you go down the street, 38th Street, you'll run into Orlando Utilities Commission, OUC. This is the power company for local Orlando and surrounding areas, probably. I don't know. They probably got motherfucking Florida powers. But this one here, we talking about OUC. Now, again, OUC is known for powering all the houses and apartment complexes in Orlando area, Mercy Drive, Pine Hills, that sort of thing. Here we go. So there was this guy by the name of Smurf. They would nickname him Smurf and Papa Smurf, I'm gonna call him. They called him Papa Smurf. He was old, dark-skinned, black guy with a white beard and white hair, white eyebrows. But he kept the shit trimmed up. He was fly with it. You know, he was a man's man. And he used to come out, like back in the old days, you had to come out and climb the little pole and hook up the cable line and run the power like that. He used to do this stuff old-fashioned wise. So Papa Smurf was known for, hitting these chicks. He was known for hitting the young chicks who had these apartments who had got apartments in these Section 8 apartment complexes and they couldn't keep their light on. So Papa Smurf, he'll go over there, he'll pull a couple strings, run a little dick up in them, and get their power on. Now Papa Smurf was notorious for this, and he was doing this for a long time. Cause I think he just recently retired from this bitch. He probably retired sooner than that. But he had been doing it so long, and he was hitting them raw too. So this story finna take a real crazy ass twist. So y'all hold your buckle your belt, baby. So Papa Smurf was sitting out there hitting them raw. He just kept hitting them. He was jumping from one to one. And it had got so prevalent that the people in these apartments and these homes, even down to the old heads that that still had their shape that looked real good, he was hitting them. So they just like, well, I ain't gonna pay the bill. I just let Papa Smurf get the pussy and turn it back on. So the whole time the community thinking Papa Smurf sitting up here paying money out of his pocket, like paying their bill until the next month, paying their bill until the next month, paying their bill until the next month. It wasn't nothing like that, man. It wasn't nothing like that. So I run up on Papa Smurf, and cause I'm sitting up there, I'm grown now. I'm about 22, 23. Just had my nuts cracked at 18, 19. So nigga on the warpath looking for something to trim. So I'm coming out of one chick apartment, and I see Papa Smurf going into the door next door to her. I say, Papa Smurf, boy, you a beast. I say, you known in these streets. And he like, no, Tyke, man, brothers just be doing something. I give them what they want. Them hoes, I give them bitches what they want. He had that kind of California swing, twang and talk. So I said, all right. I said, could you stay away from door number 832, bitch? He like, if that bitch don't need no power, then I won't come give her the power. And he'll make a joke. I say, well, as soon as you give her the power, let me know, motherfucker, because I don't follow behind you. We all made jokes. So Papa Smurf, we bumped dab hands, and I got the hell out of there. He went in there and he did what he did. So again, everybody thought Papa Smurf was sitting up here coming out of pocket because he was working at OUC for so long. Thought he was coming out of pocket. He was paying money, to get people lights extended and turn them on. So one day, I'll say, hey, Papa Smurf. I say, grandma lights off, man. I say, she got money and shit. I say, but could you go and hit the button or hit the switch and do what you do on the pole and turn the lights on for me? He was like, tight. I can do that. I say, all right. I say, appreciate you. And then he was like, how old your grandma? I say, come on now, man. Let's not go here. I say, nigga, I'm gonna come and go. I say, we gonna come pay the bill tomorrow. I say, I just don't want grandma without no lights for the night. You know, it's cold and shit. Christmas time. He like, I'm just fucking with you. So he get his little truck, because he had a company truck. He get the truck, hit the ladder, climb up there, hit the breaker box and shit, whatever he do, put a screw in something, I don't know. Boom. Grandma got power. Grandma think it's a blessing. She think it's spirit. She think it is everything. So I say, so when he came back down, I'm like, hey, Papa Smurf. I say, so you don't be paying these hoes bill? I say, you just go up there and hit the button, turn them on? He like, yeah, the shit easy. He say, but I got a secret type. I'm like, what's the secret? He say, I could generate electricity. I say, from where? He say, from my body. I say, get the hell out of here. I say, that's that old sci-fi shit, nigga. Can't no human being do that. People, I was wrong. He say, come here. He made me put my hand out. So when he made me put my hand out, he like rubbed his thumb and his bird finger, the finger you shoot a bird at somebody with. He rubbed that together. And he just kept on like, and he made it snap a couple times. And then he like, I ain't gonna hurt you. Just stand there. He touched me on the fucking hand. I felt the jolt shoot through me. So I'm like, this nigga, goddamn mutant. So he would laugh and he say, so I'm around here getting all this free pussy. They think I'm paying their bill. Say their bill still racking up. I just go up there and I just hit the button, shoot electricity in that motherfucker, and they got power for a month. I say, man, that's amazing. So we was sitting up there and he laughed and talked. He said, don't tell nobody my secret. I say, bitch, how can I do that? He say, I was born with it. He say, yeah. He say, just about 2 or 3 men in my family, we all born with it. Say the women ain't. So he say when he has sex with the women in his family, you know, he have to use condoms. Because if he busts a nut in them, he could like overexert them. This is what he said. I never seen the nigga fuck. So I said, damn, that's savage, bro. So I say, why you going raw in these hoes? He like, I don't care if they fucking overload. I don't care if they overload. So you know what I went and did. So I go and tell grandma. I say, grandma. I say, Papa Smurf around here with the fuck shit, man. I say, he hitting these girls raw. That nasty motherfucker, yeah, he do. Ugh. I bet he just all dripping. He like a sailor. I said, what? She said, he dripping. Pus come out everywhere probably on his ass. Dick, head, ass. Just don't trust him. I say, what? He told me something else. I say, have you ever heard about this? I say, he said he could generate electricity. Say, all the men in his family. She say, can't no human do that. I say, grandma, the man showed me. He shocked me without touching me. Grandma say, that bitch had been playing around that power box too much. That bitch just got all that shit trapped in him. And I say, what you think it is? Grandma told me, grandma say it was a demon. Say that man possessed by a demon because a human body can't do that. That has to be some metaphysical shit. So I say, okay, so Papa Smurf got a demon in him. Cool. I kept that to the breast, people. I kept it to the breast. So I go see Papa Smurf about a month later after that shit done. Papa Smurf, I say, bitch, you worship the devil? You know, I'm on him. I say, you worship the devil or something? He like, who the fuck told you that? I say, my grandma said, you got a demon in you, nigga. I say, you around here like hunching these holes, putting electrical demons in people. And he was like, no, I ain't got no demon in me. It's from my family. And he said, if I did have a demon, I ain't the one called a bitch, but I'm sure enough using him. And he started laughing and shit. And he tried to walk away. So I ran and got in front of him. And I was serious because I'm like, man, stop. So he was like, I don't know. You tell your grandma to come see me and we could talk about it. So, you know, I say, okay, cool. So I'm pissed off because he had hit about 20 women that I knew. I'm like, damn, bro. So grandma say, before we go and talk to this man, let's go talk to these girls. So I say, well, he hitting old Rhonda over there. I say, he's sitting out there knocking down Sarah. I say, and you know, Tweety Bird, he screwed her just about every other goddamn night. Say, she suck her thumb, and I don't know why. That girl never did that. And grandma say, let me talk to these hoes. So grandma go and talk to him, and grandma asks him, Like, how you feel after you get through fucking Papa Smurf? And they was like, well, I get a headache, and she said, lately I've been getting nosebleeds. And she said, I don't know why, like the blood, my nose will bleed a little bit after we get done, and then the blood will drop and it hurt, and I have to pick it out like a booger. And I'm like, the fuck? I'm listening to this shit. I'm like, Jesus Christ, the healthy women. So Papa Smurf sitting up there laughing, kiki, chuckling and shit. I'm just reliving what he was saying in my head. Like, I'm using the demon. So Grandma asked about 5 or 6 different women from the community. You know, what's up? All of them had the same story. One girl say her vagina, like got sore, like from like, what the hell I want to say? She didn't get blisters, but she cuts. She say her inside her vagina, it was cut up like razor blades in there. Another girl was like, she haven't grew any hair down there, like since she been screwing him, her hair done fell out down there. Like, it's straight bald. Motherfucker don't need a razor no more. If you slide your tongue across that thing, boy, you sliding on glass. I said, wow. So all the girls that he was out here hunching, and he was hunching with like 30 of them bitches, at least that I know, getting their power turned on with the power box up there. All of them had some kind of ailment wrong with their reproductive system or their vagina and shit, even down up to the head and the nose. Y'all keep that in mind. So Grandma felt the need to go and talk to Papa Smurf, and she was like, well, he an old head like me, so I ain't gonna sit up there and trip on him or try him any kind of way. I'm just gonna, ask him what's going on. So Grandma go to him and ask him what's going on, and again, he was like, I ain't got no demon in me. If it is, it ain't come from my bloodline. It ain't come from me. I ain't do no demonic work. It probably came from my uncle and my dad, because they got the same energy and they do the same thing. And Grandma asked him, you fucking your old lady, your wife, your main lady? No, we use protection, because I know if I do that, she'll get sick. So Grandma asked the same question, so why you fucking these hoes? So Grandma got pissed off, because it was a lot of young girls that Papa Smurf was knocking down. Now, these girls went and got tested from what Grandma say, because Grandma asked them, go down there and get your shit checked, baby. Get your hoo-ha and whose it was it looked at. You never know what you got. So they went and got tested via Grandma. And Grandma, she was a nice lady. She cared about the women. Very female-centric, strong. So she took them down there to the clinic off Central, downtown Orlando, off Central in Westmoreland. And they got the blood drawn. None of them had HIV and AIDS and all that shit. So Papa Smurf wasn't dropping AIDS in them or chlamydia. He just was giving them cancer. Straight up. So Grandma, like, we got to do something about this nigga. I said, Grandma, I'm not finna fuck with this nigga. I said, the nigga got electricity going through here like shocker. I say, I don't want him to come up there and sneak up on me and I'm out of this piece and I'm laughing. I say, Grandma, I got shot by the TV one time. I'm not trying to get shot by this cat. So she's like, we got to do something. Let's remove his demon. I say, Grandma, we going to have to use the seal or Cal close. I say, we going to have to get the man trapped. And then how he going to stay in one spot for so long? So I said, okay, then let's rock it. Grandma say, well, I don't like his ass. And he hurting these babies. And so, long story short, me and Grandma devised a plan. She called my cousin Yvonne in. And Yvonne was a pretty good-looking girl. She wasn't all that cute now, some dude will look at her and he squint his eye and he'll be okay. He squint his eyes and say, all right, I rock with her. Over time, then she started looking better. She was that type of good-looking. She wasn't like, damn, drop dead good, like, big, wow. So, you sit with her for a little bit. You squint your eyes up and shit, then you go for it. It is what it is. That's my cousin. So, Grandma was like, so we're going to have him come to your house. We're going to have him do what he do. And she say, make sure you put the air mattress on the floor over this carpet. Grandma had went up there to Yvonne's apartment prior and drew sigils and everything on the ground to trap whatever was in there. So, cousin Yvonne, she was going to be the sacrificial lamb to let him screw her. And so once he busts a nut, she trap his demon. Now I'm telling y'all some real shit, boy. Y'all may think tight with the fuck shit. Some people may think these ain't real stories, but baby, try it. So grandma go up there, she put the little seal on the floor, she draw it in chalk, and then she draw some in black chalk, like charcoal. She took the charcoal and charcoal powder and drew it down like that. She just went ham. I know how to do this type of magic work, by the way. So she drew it, she drew the signs of symbols, she drew the trap shit, the trap him, the hand of, I'm like, she just drew it. So cousin Vonda was dead for it, and plus she was gonna get a light bill on for the month, whatever, so she ain't have to pay. That would have been $200-300 in her pocket. So she like, cool, what it is what it is. So Papa Smurf flirt with her, took the bait. He come up there, grandma hiding in the room, I'm hiding downstairs outside, because I didn't want to see my female cousin go through that abuse. Grandma hiding in the room, so grandma was like, as soon as he bust a nut, she hear him, like they finished, she was gonna walk out the room and throw some kind of holy water on him, some concoction that she created. So cool, I'm down there, and grandma say she gonna page my beeper. I think I had a Motorola or Promco phone then. She just gonna send me a text or a page alert to come on up there. A chirp, we had the chirp then. She gonna send me the chirp to come on up there and all that stuff. I got a key. So cousin Vonda, she took it like a champ. Cousin Yvonne took that bit like a champ. They was in there getting it, grandma say. Grandma was laughing like, you enjoyed it, bitch. And she like, shut up, grandma. So, but they don't judge. So right after old boy finished, boom, done. Grandma came out, she said she threw what she threw on him, and she threw a rope, a random rope from like the grocery, from like Walmart or something. But it was real rope, not the cotton shit. She threw a rope on him, and when he grabbed the rope and threw it off of him, she got his sweat on her and from his hand, because he used his right hand. You pull out a vagina, you gonna grab that dick and whack that motherfucker off to get the finishing touches off. So boom, threw it. So she had his DNA, she had his essence, she had all that, and she's like, you nasty motherfucker. And she got up and quickly walked out. So he jump up, throw on his clothes, and he take off, and cousin like, you gonna get my lights right? Like, don't worry about that, I know what to do, I know the deal. So boom, grandma go to the lab, we in there working up. She draw these signs and sigils on the walls and on some paper, and she write his name down, his real name, which I'm not gonna say. She write all that. She take the rope, she coil it up like a snake, she paint the head of the rope black, and the one head of the rope black and the other end red, and she curl it up like a snake from wide to small, going up into a top, and she tucked the head of the one was supposed to be the head inside the coil to hide it. I'm telling you just how the spell went, people. So grandma was like, okay. She started burning a candle, she get a gunpowder, she do all that shit, and then she just end up like taking condoms and like just open them up and stuffing them inside the center of the snake, the rope that symbolized the snake with a head. She stacked about 6 or 7 condoms in that motherfucker. Lifestyles at that. The black ones that don't break when you're fucking hard. The black tuxedos, we call them. Stuff them. So she say, okay, this gonna burn for 7 days. We gonna fix that bitch. So she left it sitting up there on the seal paper, the signs and seals. I'm not gonna post the signs and seals up here because I don't want y'all dealing with this type of magic. Y'all keep dealing with candle magic and shit. So 7 days. Papa Smurf ain't looking so good. Papa Smurf like, man, I feel bad. I got a headache. I feel sick. I feel queasy. I feel nauseous. So, like, you feel sick, queasy, and nauseous. Like, yeah, sick, queasy, and nauseous. I said, all right. And he was like, man, Tyke, why your grandma sat up there and threw that dumb shit? Took me out of my fuck essence. I said, grandma, she old lady. She probably jealous you ain't trimming her. I'm saying anything. Yeah, I don't fuck with old ladies. I don't fuck them old bitches. Yeah, cool. I'm like, oh, bitch, we done put the hook on your ass. You is not finna have that power no more, 'cause grandma know what she doing, bitch. I'm laughing in my head like, grandma done stunk this no. Man, 7 days later, true to the spell work that grandma did, the man working at the power company, he come again. I'm laughing because it's bad, man. It's bad. And y'all don't judge me, grandma, man. So he up there fucking around with the power company. Because keep in mind, he did work for the power company. He did climb them poles and he did do that. The man working with out there on the power. 7 days, the man going to work. Climb the pole, he fucking around with the power. This nigga get shocked so hard it threw him about, I'm gonna say about 30, 40 feet off the cart he was in. He fixing the power line, and the electricity shot through his ass so bad it blew him to the ground. Thank God it was grass though. He didn't die right off. Blew his ass to the ground, and he's sitting out there smoking. So they come out there and they take pictures. And you know, back in the day, the phone was in its infancy, so the pictures all grainy and shit. He laying on the ground, moving around, smoking, just like in the cartoons, black. So when everybody was like, oh, Papa Smurf dead, he got electrocuted to death. You know, words spread fast in the hood. So grandma was like, that bitch poisoning everybody with his radiation dick. So she kept running around talking about radiation dick, radiation dick, radiation dick. I don't know if I can title this bitch radiation dick. So she done blew the man down. The man ain't got his power. So the man in the hospital going through all kind of heart issues now. Heart issues, brain issues, thumbs and fingers and joints cramping up and shit. He can't screw no more. So grandma goes to OUC and tell him, well, you know, he was sitting out there siphonering power from y'all, paying everybody bills. And the people like, well, we don't see where our meters here was, you know, getting the dollar amount added up to the meter. And grandma was like, well, he had electricity running through him, and everybody at OUC was like, yeah, he used to always say that he was an electrical man and his family came from a long line of electricians. And she's like, this is what he told us. So they say, well, we changing the system to a more digital. It'll be digital. People won't have to climb the box too much no more. So grandma say, make sure you do, because there's people out there that's poisoning people, giving them radiation poison and cancer. So now, I don't know if you guys remember where the radiation was coming off the power line so bad back in the day that if your house was by a power line, you know, in the community, people were losing their hair, people were getting sick, throwing up, catching cancer and all that other stuff. So the same principle applied when he was up there having sex with these girls, because he knew how to transmutate electrical energy. I don't know if I'm using the proper word, transmutate, but I know it's one of the 4 elemental things that people can do in the world. You know, one can defy gravity, one can control water, one can control air, and the other one, you know, can control electricity, that type of stuff. Sort of like the airbender, but real life shit. So with all this electricity running through his body, he's having sex with all these women in the community, these young girls, and he's giving them cervical cancer. He's giving them tumors and fibroid tumors and hard stuff in their reproductive system, killing their fallopian tubes and making them have a heavy period, because he wasn't using condoms, and he's nutting up in these chicks with this radiation nut. So grandma was like, good thing she stopped that shit, and she had already put a spell on cousin Yvonne so that she didn't get sick from it. And then grandma even knew how to wrap her ass up and gave her some kind of potion to drink to clean her out, clean his nut out of her, clean his filth, what she call it, not nut. She call it his filth. So I'm sitting up there, the man in the hospital going through stroke, after stroke, bitch can't walk, he hand crippled and he barely making it. So he retired early, he lost his job from OUC, and he had to retire early, but he had worked there so long, so he got a nice little pension. So grandma goes up and see him and say, and he like, you did this to me, Agunju. You did this to me, Agunju. And grandma was like, no, bitch, you did it to yourself. You did it to yourself. You went around fucking these little young hoes that don't know no better, infecting them. Why you didn't tell them your dick never give them cancer? Why you didn't tell them that? Let a bitch know what you're doing. Give them the informed decision. He like, well, They wanted to fuck, and I don't like using condoms. I use condom with my wife. I don't like using condom, and they ain't like it either. So I didn't know I was giving them cancer. And grandma was like, look at that girl. Tweety Bird had her, fell out her fucking head. The other girl can't grow no hair on her pussy. And you just send your ass up there just enjoying life. How many other bitches you done did it to? Then grandma really got upset. Were you fucking boys too? Did you kill men in this? And grandma was just like, oh my God. Grandma went out. I don't know why that pissed grandma off so bad. But grandma hated Papa Smurf. Hated him. So Papa Smurf like, well, fuck you, a gun Jew, you old bitch, you just wanted it. So here go the backstory with Grandma and Papa Smurf. So when they were young, going to school together, chilling and doing all that, Papa Smurf shot at Grandmama. So they dated for like 2-3 days. Papa Smurf, started screwing the girls in high school back in the day, that was putting out quicker than Grandma. So he basically cheated on Grandma when they were like 2-3 day boyfriends. So Grandma didn't like his ass since. So Grandma just like, fuck you. That's what you get for cheating. And she brought up all the old and the new. So he like, fuck you. So then I see him getting his little wheelchair and he rolling that bitch off with one hand. So like each wheel, getting it in the building. Because he had went to the food stamp building to apply for assistant. Grandma was down there getting her food stamp, her book of food stamp. So I say, Grandmama, I say, you fucked him up. She said, he fucked himself up. I just took that demon out of his ass. And I hope his bloodline, his uncle them, like the demon lead him. Because that shit ain't right. They killing women and probably men, the nasty fuckers. And she was adamant. So now we finna rule it back down. So now all the chicks that Papa Smurf was out there banging in the community, Sarah, Tweety Bird, all the chicks that he was banging, they literally start growing their hair back. Now the one who couldn't grow hair on her vagina anymore, like the hairline down there and the bush, she never got that right. These chicks had fibroid tumors and hard periods and ovarian cancer and all that stuff. Never got it right. That never got right. But the ones who he wasn't screwing on the regular, 1 or 2 times, that caught some ailments, nosebleeds, headaches, and kind of like, loopiness, they start feeling better. Now, it's one that was just really devastating. And her name, we're just going to say her name was Lady. We'll just say Lady, because if I say her full nickname, everybody that hit his video will be like, man, she used to be in Luke videos. Luke Skywalker from South Florida, Miami, she was in his videos, so I'm just going to, that's enough hint. So she had called it bad. It ain't Cindy, so I know Cindy. Cindy was fine back in the day in Luke videos. It was one of the other two that was the regulars. So she was fine. So Papa Smurf was hitting her ass. Man, that lady thinned up so motherfucking bad. That lady had to be every bit of, check it out. She had to be like 220, solid, everything. Little waist, big titties, big ass. She was bumping that bitch. She was so bad, she used to go to Lana Doone Park with us and shake it in air, and we didn't know what twerking was, and she was the twerk queen back in the day. Better than Patra back in the day. Thick to death. Man, Papa Smurf drawed that lady up so bad with that cancer and all them ovarian shits. And she just started looking so bad. So Luke Skywalker didn't fuck with her no more. Cindy and everybody else went on to make videos. 2 Live Crew and shit went on to make videos. So she was sitting at the thing. So Grandma say, baby, do you got AIDS? Grandma was straight up. I'm like, baby, you got AIDS? She like, no, I ain't got AIDS. They said it ain't AIDS. They said I got HPV. HPV. 30 years ago, people, it was out. HPV was out 30 years ago. She had discovered she had HPV. Now I'm finna break something down to your ass. HPV right now runs prevalent in girls. Boys give it to girls. and it gives you guys ovarian cancer, fibroid tumors, and everything. So, do you think, and this is my conspiracy theory, I'm packing it all in there because some of y'all ain't gonna believe me, but I want y'all to hear me. Do you think the food that they was giving us was radiated? Do you think the way we were living under these power lines and out in these projects in these close community was giving us this heavy dose of radiation, electricity running through our body, and we sitting up in the hood having unprotected sex, procreating this shit, and now our kids, our men, are toxic to our baby girls? Y'all think about that now. Papa Smurf was the first person in Orlando, Florida, and it's news down there at the Central Clinic. Papa Smurf was the first man to be diagnosed with giving a female HPV, the human papillomavirus virus, I think that's what they call it. And Grandma saved a lot of women from catching that shit in the future, because she put a stop to his ass. When that electricity and that shit couldn't be harnessed in his ass, and that demon that was on him, she trapped that demon and got rid of it, and that shit couldn't be there. Bitch got blown 30 yards off of that goddamn power line and lost his job and crippled up. She saved a lot. Now, I don't think she did that directly to Papa Smurf, but I'm telling your ass, that demon, that bitch was running rapid in the hood, jumping in that man bloodline because he could handle the electricity and giving them people them fucking diseases. So I'm finna leave it right there. I got a couple emails saying, Baron, I don't believe your stories. I think they fake. But I'm giving you the name. The first person to catch HPV will be from 1983 in Central Florida when Luke Skywalker 2 Live Crew was hitting. Her name may show up, I don't know. But the first person to say they gave it to a female in Central Florida was Papa Smurf, which I'm not going to say his name, but just know he worked for OUC. We'll leave it at that. All right, everybody, I'm tight. Telling you guys, be careful who you lay with, because you just might be on the lay line. Figure that one out. Take care, everybody. Stay safe.